Hey students, welcome to the end. This is our final lesson for the school year. Very proud of you that you got this far, but let's just get to it and finish it up, right? Again, announcements are over there. We have our do now. So I kind of already got it started, but we're going to look into both composition of functions and multiplying two functions together, all right? So let's start with A. We found that A, f of g of 2, or fog of 2, we saw that was when we take g function, so we'll take g of 2, which is just 2 plus 2, and then we're going to put it into our f. So now I got f of 4. Again, this 4 comes from the answer of g of 2, all right? We put in those values for x. First one is x is equal to 9, it looks like, right? Okay, now let's compare with B. Notice the dots here, right? Those mean different things. The first one means composition. The second one means multiply those two. So really what this is saying is f of negative 2 times h of negative 2, right? So I need to find the value of both of those functions. And I can see that 2, negative 2 is going to give me negative 3. H of negative 2 is going to give you 6. So really my answer is going to be f, we got f dot h of negative 2 is equal to negative 3 times 6. All right, which we know the answer to be negative 18. Okay, let's keep on that momentum, right? This is going to be g of f of negative 3. I'm doing C now. I'm going to go ahead and put all those things together, right? So I got parentheses g, which is x plus 2, but I'm going to put f in there, which is 2 times negative 3 plus 1, right? I replace the x on g of x, and I'm going to add 2. So doing the math there, I get negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. You following along? Again, notice a dot here. That means multiply. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the f function with our g function, h function. Whoops. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, so we have here 2x plus 1 timesing negative 3x. So you can see this as distributing if you notice, right? There's 1 outside of there, so we're just going to times that to each one of those. That's going to give me negative 6x squared plus negative 3x, which is minus 3x. That is our warm-up. Fun, right? Okay, this is day 2 of composition of functions. We're going to continue on with what we're learning. I think we're just going to do problems similar to do now, to be honest. It's just extra practice for you so that you can understand this, feel good about it, and move on with your life, right? Okay, so if we have fog of x, this is like saying f of g of x. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm taking the g of x, and I'm taking this part, this x plus 1, I'm throwing it into my x value, or I'm replacing the x value. So at the end of the day, what this translates to is f of x plus 1, all right? Which just translates to 5 of x plus 1. Easy enough, right? This is just distributing now. So we have 5x plus 5 as my answer. I gotta turn my chat off real quick. Don't want those annoying bings, right? Okay. We have gof of x. Gof is going to be g of f of x. And again, what I'm doing is I'm taking my f of x function and throwing it into my g function. So really what this translates to is g of my f, which is 5x, that equals 5x plus 1. Looks like that's all we can do with that. We can't combine anything else. So that is my answer there. Okay, and that's what we'll do here today. Just doing more practice of that. Please pay attention to the notation, feel good about it, and we'll keep going, moving on, right? So we got here fog of x again. This case, this translates as f of g of x. We're going to take our g function, or our f function, excuse me, and then we're going to put our 2x in there, which is our g function, right? So that g is this right here. Trying to make this as easy as possible, which is just 12 times 2x. Well, 12 times 2 is 24 x's. There you go. Oh, that's not to the x power, by the way. That's an x. You feeling good about this? We're just crushing it, right? We're going to make this a little harder. Now we're going to do h of g of x, hog of x. That translates as h of g of x, which is my green function, h of my blue function, 2x. And then we're just following that now, right? So our x value, we're going to replace it with 2x to the third power plus 1. So remember with this third power, that is saying times through to each one of those, right? So really what's going on here is I have 2 to the third power multiplying x to the third power, all right? So I can see that 2 to the third power is 8 times x to the third power. I don't know what x is, okay? Plus 1, which we can just say is 8x to the third power plus 1. Feel good about that? These are a lot easier. Ooh, how about this one? What's going on here? If you said there's a dot, filled in dot right there, that means multiply. Multiply. Exclamation point. So we're going to take our two functions, f of 2, and we're going to times that with h of 2. All right? So f of 2, well, that's easy. That's going to be 12 times 2, 24. And then h of 2, well, that's just going to be 2 to the third power plus 1. 2 to the third power is 8. So you're 9. This ends up being 24 times 9. Use your calculator. 216. Nice. Okay, switching it up a bit. I'm doing this for your brain so that you can get this a little more and understand the differences. This is saying g of h of x. This is our go x. We're going to put in our green function into our blue function, right? So g of 9x, right? This is our green function. We're going to take that 9x, whoops, and we're going to replace it into our x value for g of x. Well, that's just parentheses 9x minus 1. And looks like you can't simplify anymore. So there you have it. That's all you have, all right? Man, I feel like this is easy. Maybe just me. Hey, try this out. This one's going to be a little bit complicated. I think you need to use the box method. Actually, no, right? Go ahead and try it. Okay, so you should understand that this is fog, or a composition. So it's f of g of x. Okay, we're going to take my f function in red, and we're going to put in the g blue function of x minus 1 in there. So now I just have 2 parentheses x minus 1 plus 4. Okay, what do you have to do here? Notice you need to distribute that 2. So you got 2x minus 2 plus 4. Simplify that. What's negative 2 plus 4? That's 2x plus 2. We're golden. Did you get it like that? Good job. Hey, look here. Pause it. If you haven't noticed yet, the notation means multiply. Multiply. So I should understand this as my red function, g of 4 times my red function, or my blue function times my red function, f of 4. G of 4, well, that's just going to be 4 minus 1. F of 4 is just going to be 2, 4 plus 4. That's 8, that's 12. So really what we have here is 3 times 12, right? That's 36. I feel like I'm going too fast. If I am, please pause, go back to it. You can pause the video, see what I did here. I feel like we learned this, so it's pretty straightforward, right? Again, just extra practice to help you feel good about it. You'll definitely see this stuff in 10th grade, I'm pretty sure. I see this stuff in college. It's nuts. It gets really crazy. Think of it as like you have to the 5th power, to the 3rd power, and all the other powers. And then you have your sine and cosines, which you don't even know yet. But it's all good, fam. Hey, we're going to take our g of 4. We're going to put in 4 minus 1. And again, we're going to take that number and put it into my f function. So this terms f of 3, which is 2 times 3 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. That is my answer. Okay. Let's do one last one. This one's kind of trippy, isn't it? This one is where we... Actually, is that going to be... Ooh. Don't spoil it. Hey, this is where we make it a little bit more complicated, but please don't stress out about this, right? You can totally do this. Again, just follow what you know, what we learn about with this. This is q of t of x. q dx. You q dx. We're going to take our green function here, and we're going to throw that into that x value, right? So isn't this pretty easy? All this is, class, is q of x to the 3rd plus x squared plus 4x minus 1. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with college algebra. It's nuts. But this one's easy. This is just x to the 3rd, x squared plus 4x minus 1. Look at that, plus 3. If you see here, you can only combine your numbers. So really my answer is just going to be x to the 3rd power plus x squared plus 4x. What's negative 1 plus 3? Plus 2. Tricked you. Thought it'd be hard, wouldn't it? Okay, class. That is it for today's lesson. Here is your discussion question. I'm just not going to have it started. I'm just going to have you finish it yourself. I did put a little answer afterwards if you submit. It's not a complete answer, but it gets you started, right, if you're lost. Other than that, you learned about you learned about solve equations using composition of functions. We have one last PC. There's a learning activity and there's a review PC 29. And then I'll post that up and that's it, class. It's been really good, but life goes on. Really care about you. I hope you had a good year for the most part. This quarantine stuff is weird, right? But please be safe, take care of yourself, and make it a great day. Bye.